like typical stubborn husbands, I took 3.5 years before I listened to my wife. And 3.5 years later, I started on this journey of meditation and mindfulness. And I found that it was so transformative. It changed my life completely. And as this journey went along, as the understanding deepened, IC3 could happen. Because for a lot of the noise that we see in the world, the only real place of solace or silence is within us. All the noise around everything else. And I was able to discover that. But there's a particular kind of approach for teachers and educators that worked very, very well, that worked for me, which is called inner child work. And I wish I had done this work before I had begun my teaching career, but I nevertheless got an opportunity to do this work in 2013. And it really, really transformed me as an educator, as not just as an individual. And so we are essentially going to talk briefly about that work, which is inner child work. That was the idea of this session, and then lead you into a short meditation. Does that sound like a plan? Yes? So, in the Bible, it is said, truly I say to you, unless you are converted and become like children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. And this is so powerful. We were born very creative, joyous, wondrous, imaginative beings who could let go and love unconditionally. Anybody has a little child right now at home, or you're interacting with you in schools, you would see those little ones. How many of us feel instantly like, I want to just go and hug this child, or and how many of you feel like the adults sometimes that come? It's amazing, right? We're actually born God beings in many ways, very beautiful, innocent beings. And how easily we are able to welcome. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. You can also come on this side, whatever. Yeah. No, this is fine. Whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah. Yeah. So that attraction that we have to little children is because they have not lost something. We aren't adults. We are adulterated children. We aren't 30 or 40 years old. We are 5-year-olds in a 40-year-old body. And who lost a lot along the way. In many ways, we lost that ability to just get up when we fall and run again. We lost the ability along the way to love unconditionally without worrying about who is a watchman or a security guard's child, or who is more educated and who is less educated. We lost the ability to just find joy and wonder in everything. When a child walks in, he wants to touch everything, wants to taste everything, he's just so full of wonder. So adults are really adulterated. individuals who lost some of these qualities. And when I did this work, inner child work, I was able to connect with the childlike Ganesh within myself. And that allowed me to connect so much easier with the world outside. One of our teachers, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he says, the only way out is in. And if the only way out is in, for a logical, scientific minded individual like me, I needed validated, structured, researched program to look at, to decide how I do it. I needed to feed my left brain, my logical brain. And I found that this work actually makes so much sense. Because when I'm feeling fear as a 40-year-old, it is often not the fear of the 40-year-old. It is the fear of the 5-year-old who was told, I will give you to the policeman, or the ghost will take you, or I'll lock you up somewhere. It's not the 40-year-old getting scared. It's the 5-year-old getting scared. So many times we experience, okay, since a lot of new people have joined us, we'll let you hear the most beautiful voice that I hear every day of my life, which is that of Dr. Preeti, and the voice that calms me. So I'll let her tell you a story.
Good morning, my dear friends. This story, actually, which is a real story, is very, very dear to my heart. And for the ones who have just joined us, Ganesh was sharing about inner child work. So this actually happened in 1950s back in Thailand, that the government was making a highway and there was a monastery there. Because of this highway work that was going to start, they were relocating this monastery. And in this monastery, there was this huge Buddha statue. It was a clay statue. And the day that was decided to shift the statue, all the machinery came and they started to lift this up. And they couldn't lift it up. They had estimated the weight of the big clay statue, but the machines were really finding it very difficult. And hence, what happened is that in the process of trying to do that, a couple of cracks came. So the monks immediately said, now you got to put it down. This is not working. Just close your eyes. Settle into this moment. Like Ganesh mentioned, that we are now becoming present to just ourselves. All the senses directed within. For these 20 minutes now, nothing else matters. Nobody else matters. Give this time completely to your own self. Bring your attention to your breath. Simply watch the breath coming in as it is coming in. And watch it going out as it goes out. In just the way that the breath is happening. You don't have to change the rhythm, pace. Simply observe what is. You may become aware of the sensations that are happening in the body as the breath comes in and goes out. And as you are becoming more and more present and aware to your own self, you may also notice any other sensations in the body. Simply watch them without any judgments, without trying to make it go away. In meditation, we maintain the attitude of awareness and acceptance. Simply accept what you see, what you become aware of. Your breath is your anchor. Our breath is always in this moment. Stay in the present moment by being with the breath. The process of meditation is like accepting your own friend request. Becoming your own friend, knowing your own self, and being there for your own self. And friendship can develop only when we are not judging. Maintain a non judgmental attitude. If you're noticing any thoughts that have started to come, do not label some as good or bad. Simply observe what you notice. Let them come and let them go. You can bring your awareness back to your breath. Now, as you're watching your breath, also bring your attention to the heart center, the center of your chest. This is the center of love. Our inner child resides within us. And when we allow ourselves to open our hearts, which you are going to do by maintaining your awareness at the heart center. You're intending to become present to your own inner child. Be present. Be with your breath and allowing the heart center to open. Every child needs to be seen, seen for who they are, not for what they are doing. Become present in this way. I'm ready to see myself for who I am, not what I do, not what I do for other people. Every child needs to be accepted and seen for how they are. When you now hold this loving and unconditional space just for your own self. All that you're going to do is relax with the breath, having this feeling, this intention in your heart. Surrender to your breath. Some of you may even start seeing visuals of your childhood or start sensing in other ways. And for others, that is not how it would be. Just accept the way it is happening for you now. If you're able to sense your inner child, hold a beautiful, loving space, appreciating your inner child, saying thank you. The most important relationship is with our own self. Just for another 3 minutes, be there with this love and presence. Just for another 1 minute. As you stay with your breath, as you stay with your heart center, as you stay with your inner child, you will make a commitment to your inner child, to your own self, that from now onwards, I'm going to start paying attention to my inner child. I will start nurturing my inner child, becoming present to my inner child, which is also my inner self. You can tell your inner child, I will be present to your needs. And I will give you an unconditional space so that I can know you more. Holding this beautiful intention and this commitment to take care of your own self. Slowly, slowly, we're getting ready to come back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Then slowly rub your palms together, cover your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. Wonderful. Welcome back, my dear friends. Friends, anybody would like to share their experience or also ask any questions? We have another mic. Yeah. Anybody wants to share what they experienced? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning to everyone. I'm so relaxed, ma'am. After the performance of meditation, I'm literally relaxed and I feel so energetic also. Actually, what sir has said, Ganesh sir, even yesterday I didn't have my proper sleep. So the same thing I'm experiencing.
That's
I
wonderful.
feel so energetic and I will try to meditate every day. I used to meditate whenever I feel, but now I'll practice every day from today onwards.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, friends. Friends, tomorrow we will talk more about the benefits of meditation, but that's beautiful, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, sir.
Small reflection. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Um, Few years back, I thought that past you cannot change. You can only change the future by staying in the present and doing the right things. And I think meditation did help a lot in understanding that past can be changed too, and that can change the future in ways that we don't understand. Inner child work does help in that aspect.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We don't realize that we keep actually projecting our past. We are thinking about the future from the past. Somebody betrayed us. I am never going to allow anybody to betray me. So where does this come from? The past is living within us. Unless
end up creating the future.
yes, yes, yes. Unless we actually change it, change how it is happening within us. That is what we can change. Thank you for bringing that up, sir. Yes. Anybody else would like to share or ask anything? How many of us here were meditating for the very first time? Anybody, any first timers? No. Oh, wow. I'm so happy to hear that. All of us are already into meditation. That's wonderful. Anything different that you experienced today? Yes, please, ma'am. If you can bring the mic quickly here, please. Here. Yes.
Morning, everybody. Yeah, actually, I think no, it's not working. Does it work?
I think a little bit. We can hear you.
New thing was to connect your heart to the inner child is new for me. So I meditate and I make all my students in the school, we start our day with meditation. I was very good connect with Ganesh because like we need to insist that this is how you have to start and how to start. And they also were thinking earlier that, it's waste of time. But then slowly, now they have realized that how useful for them. And the restlessness have calmed down. We could find out that thousands of students will sit and feel of silence. So we asked the team that.
That's beautiful, ma'am. So I'll finally leave you with also my little sharing. I started meditating from the age of 15. I was introduced into it. And I realized that I used to absorb so much better whatever I was studying. And I would especially not miss it ever during the times of exams, right? Because your need for sleep also goes down and you're absorbing much better. You're able to really kind of bring it out also so much better. So that's how, when I was also sharing with Ganesh how he should be meditating, and we started doing all this to really also bring it in the schools. So Usha ma'am is here and she has the. Yes, absolutely, Usha ma'am, please. Ma'am, yes. Yes, we can hear.
It was wonderful, Preeti. I'm sure that this gathering here is a lot into meditation, as we sensed there were no first timers. And I think when I was introduced to meditation, just like you said, as a child, there's one thing that I realized, that, thoughts keep coming and going. And I've always kind of reflected and seen that it's like I'm sitting near a lake. And if it's a turbulent day and, there are lots of waves on that, then obviously you can't see. But as your mind quietens, you see your own reflection. So I think that's a way of connecting to your inner self. We're talking of creating future, looking into the past. Sometimes it's good to let go and let things be. Things happen in silence. And I think once we understand that, I think there's no doing from our end. It's a natural outcome. Thank you.
Beautiful, Usha ma'am. Thank you so much. So friends, we are around. We also have a booth. So I'd love for you to kind of drop in and see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, I know that today is going to be a late night, right? And it's going to be more difficult to come tomorrow morning. But remember this formula, if you come tomorrow, you'll get more energy. So we start with meditation once again tomorrow. Thank you so much, friends, for joining.